followed by the main faculty of Inaugural and Professor Faculty of Basic Clinical Sciences, Professor Bitu, the Dean Faculty Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Olayiwola, Dean Faculty of Clinical Sciences, Professor R.Eng, Dean Faculty of CIS, Professor MNSE, representative of the Dean Faculty of Education, Professor M.A. Dean, the host Dean, Dean of Engineering, Professor O.A. Dean. We also have the Dean Environmental Sciences, Dr. N.A. Bello, the Dean Faculty of Law, Professor Hakeem Mujaya, Dean Life Sciences, Professor Toyi Mustafa, Dean Management Sciences, Professor Umar Muno. Representing the Dean, we have the Dean Pharmaceutical Sciences, Dr. Saad Abdullahi. We have the Dean Physical Sciences, Professor K.J. The Dean Social Sciences, Professor I.B. Fabi. The Dean Postgraduate School, Professor Moji Bakari Okola. The Dean Student Affairs, Professor N.T. Yakubu. And we have the University Librarian, Dr. Katie Omokuba. The University Registrar, Dr. Foma Olowoleni. The inaugural lecturer of today, Professor Jacob Olayiwola Aweda. And representing the Vice Chancellor is the Acting Provost, College of Health and Sciences, Professor Adekunle Bashir Okechino.
We thank God for this occasion. First and foremost, I need to deliver a message from the Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdulwahab Egbewole. He was very much aware of this as the first inaugural lecture, and he wanted to be here, if not for the official assignment that took him out of the station. So he sent his apology, and I stand in for him. The inaugural lecturer of today, please stand up for your recognition while I recite your citation. The biography of Professor Jacob Olayiwola Aweda. Professor Jacob Olayiwola Aweda was born in January 1958 at Okaka, Oja, Kwara State, and attended primary school Okealafia, Ondo State, primary school Elesimenta, Kwara State, and Government College Secondary School, Ilorin. He later proceeded to Kwara State College of Technology, Ilorin, for his advanced level certificate. Professor Aweda was also at this university from 1995 to 2007, where he bagged his Ph.D. in mechanical engineering. Previously, he obtained master's degree in Mechanical Engineering from the Institute of Agricultural Engineering, Roostov-on-Don at USSR. And Professor Aweda also got graduate education from Aweda University, Sokoto, because as a lecturer I need educational qualification to be really sound in his profession. He started his career as an assistant lecturer at this university in 1992 and rose through the rank to become professor in 2019. His professional qualifications include the following: member of the National Association of Engineers, fellow Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineering, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and in addition to the above, he has a lot of administrative experiences, which I will enumerate below. He was chairman of the R.Eng Accreditation Committee for October 2010, acting head of Department of Materials and Metallurgical Engineering in 2014, acting head of Department for Mechanical Engineering from 2014 to 2016, and assistant secretary, Nigeria Society of Engineers, Ilorin branch from 1997 to 2000. Professor Aweda has presented papers, international and local conferences. He has a lot of international and local-based publications to his credit, and is happily married and blessed with children. I present to you Aweda.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Members of the University of Ilorin Governing Council, Deputy Vice Chancellors, the Registrar, and the Principal Officers of the University, Provost, College of Health Sciences, Deans of other faculties, Postgraduate School and Student Affairs, particularly the Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Directors of units, Professors and other members of Senate, heads of department, particularly Head Department of Mechanical Engineering, members of the academic staff of the university, members of the administrative and technical staff of the university, members of the academic staff of sister universities, ministers of God here present, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, traditional rulers here present, my families, nuclear extended, relations and friends, members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers here present, members of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers here present, members of Ilorin Alumni Association, great University of Ilorin students, gentlemen of the print and electronic media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I will be glad and rejoice indeed. I will sing praise to thy name, O thy most high. Psalm 9 verse 2. I give praise and adoration to God, who has been my help, my shield, and has sustained me through my life journeys, and has granted me grace this day to deliver this inaugural lecture. I thank the Vice Chancellor, Professor Olayiwola, M.Sc, for the approval given to present this inaugural lecture of the University of Ilorin. God has a way of answering prayers, in that despite efforts made to have this inaugural lecture delivered earlier, all proved abortive. That Professor Olayiwola, S.A.N, is the chairman of today, is just a divine arrangement by God. I grew up in the Okeiko-Ifetedo axis of the old western states, from where my father made frequent visits to Ile-Ife to sell his farm products, and in return buy chemicals for his cocoa farm. This is also the first inaugural lecture as the Vice Chancellor of the Better by Far University. As a secondary school student, my teacher wanted me to read medicine because of my good understanding of science subjects. Therefore, I applied for medicine to read physics, chemistry, and biology in the Kwara State College of Technology, School of Basic Studies. After 2 semester or 3 semester course, I found out that there was an urge to change my course to architecture. I made an attempt to change to physics, chemistry, and geography or mathematics, but I was informed that it was not possible to register for any new subject after 2 of the 3 semesters. All efforts I made could not yield any result. I then got married to my faith. When the opportunity came for scholarship under the Bureau for External Aids, I did not hesitate to fill architecture and civil engineering as my first and second choice of disciplines respectively. At the interview which held in Kaduna, the panelists, after asking me a few questions, offered me engineering technology, after which I was asked to respond. Just while I was still thinking of what to say, a member of the panel, possibly noting my dilemma, made an attempt to educate me on the opportunity awaiting me on my return to Nigeria if I accepted the offer. The other thing that happened to me in the quest for a career was that a few months after the said interview, the admission letter came and I was to proceed to USSR to read mechanical engineering instead of my preferred choice of architecture in Poland. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, this was how my journey to mechanical engineering began, with specialization in production and manufacturing engineering, and the reason for today's lecture, engineering technology and technology of manipulation of process parameters. Engineering as a profession applies scientific knowledge of mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, and other specialized scientific courses to the optimal usage of resources to the benefit of mankind. The engineer is involved in planning, design, fabrication, construction, operation, maintenance, manufacturing, management, research, and development, and many more. The practice of engineering is being carried out daily by everybody. The lifting of legs, lifting of arms, talking, and accomplishing any task is engineering. Thus, the mechanical engineering maxim of when it moves, it's mechanical. Engineering technology is the practical application of science and engineering to a wide range of real-world problems, which is the use of scientific principles to design and build machines, structures, and other items, including bridges, tunnels, roads, dams, vehicle, equipment, and building. The discipline of engineering encompasses a broad range of more specialized fields of engineering, each with its more specific emphasis on particular areas of applied mathematics, applied science, and types of application, as contained in R.Eng DMAX. The processes used in converting raw materials into finished products perform one or both of 2 major functions. First, they form the material into the desired shape. Second, they alter or improve the properties of the material. Forming and shaping processes are classified into 2 broad types: those performed on the material in a liquid state, and those performed on the material in the solid or plastic condition, where temperature may or may not be involved. Aweda et al. 2018a. The processing of materials in liquid form is commonly known as casting when it involves metals, glass, and ceramics. It is called molding when applied to plastics and some other non-metallic materials. Most casting and molding processes involve 4 major stages. 1, making an accurate pattern of the parts, making a mold from the pattern, introducing the liquid into the mold, and removing the solidified metal from the mold. The properties of the cast material can further be altered by additional mechanical treatments and operations. Despite additional operations, failure occurs. The failure of engineering components frequently leads to disruption in services, and when it happens, its analysis and prevention need a systematic approach of investigation to establish the important causes of the failure. Engineering component or assembly is considered to have failed under any of the following three conditions: when the component is inoperable, when it operates but doesn't perform the needed function, and when it operates but safety and reliability is not guaranteed or very poor. The failure of an engineering component in actual working conditions can occur due to a number of factors related with design, materials, manufacturing, service conditions, processing, which is today and before we do itself, and many others. Aweda 2018A and B. Therefore, my work is on squeeze casting of aluminum metal. Processing, therefore, is subjecting material to a series of actions in order to achieve a particular result. These involve a complex series of chemical, thermal, and physical processes that prepare a starting material, which we call raw material, create a shape, retain that shape, and revise the structure and shape. Material processing is an integral aspect of our engineering work and design, which involves the conversion of raw materials into final applicable shapes. Processing is the procedure that is used on other products before they are made available for end users. Materials are processed to strengthen them and make them more durable and more adaptable to failure situations. One versatile material processing method is squeeze casting technique, as reported by Aweda 2007 and Aweda and Jima 2007. Casting generally is one of the manufacturing processes where solid metal is heated to melting temperature and is then poured into a prepared cavity or mold, which contains it in proper shape during the process of solidification. Aweda 2008A. It is the fastest and most practiced method of all fabrication processes for shaping metals to shape. New technology has shown that the mold could be used repeatedly without destruction, going through squeeze casting. All the errors and failures of the previous methods of casting has been taken over by squeeze casting. Therefore, my work was on aluminum. The study of the properties of materials become an important subject due to many application materials undergo winding service. Most widely used metallic materials in engineering is steel, copper, aluminum, and their alloys. Steel has a wider usage than aluminum when strength is the basis of consideration. The high density and corrosion characteristics exhibited by steel limits its use and has made aluminum more prevalent in most industrial applications. Aluminum, due to its light weight, coupled with a relatively high strength when alloyed, has its application in building, electrical industry, aircraft manufacturing, automobiles, aeronautics, military, and as domestic materials. When alloyed with other metals, aluminum is built improved mechanical properties. Increased cooling rate is one of the most influential factors affecting the product of squeeze casting. Increasing the cooling rate up to a critical value in Aweda and Adeyemi 2007 and 2009A discovered that it has an obvious refining effect upon grain size, gravel nodule size, and nodule count, and consequently improve the ultimate tensile strength, impact resistance, and hardness of squeeze cast aluminum material. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to discuss briefly my work on the various process parameters leading to the production of sound or quality casting of aluminum products. Can you show figure 3? Figure 3. So as it's been shown, figure 3 is a schematic diagram of squeeze casting process where we have 10 places where we monitor the temperature of the cast, 2, 3 within the cast metal, 6 within the mold, and 2 by the interface. That is when you pour your multimeter, there is that interface between the multimeter and the container. So what happens at that surface determines what the quality of your product. And all other processes will just come along with it so that your quality product will be produced. So you have met quality. So you have to remove rust and any other grit that is pertaining to it. Multi-metal superheat in this situation does not need to be very hard. It depends on the position of your mold and your foundry, and that superheat between 40 and 60 degrees C is adequate for squeeze casting. And to the temperature, you can cast where the tool is at room temperature and you can raise it. And then Aweda 2009 has discovered that raising the temperature of the mold above 300 degrees centigrade will do much damage to either the mold or your cast. Then the pressure applied, the pressure level, so they can't shoot it. So now this is what we are saying. Just hold on. You will see these plates. There are, yeah, this one and that one. These are most of the mistakes that we make in the previous casting. And by the time you use squeeze casting, most of those things are eliminated. And the pressure applied are between 30 and 108 meganewtons per meter squared. And that in households, many of us are used to aluminum. And today, when you bring out aluminum, you buy aluminum, you see leakages. This is what we are saying. And that in some households, you see the leakages. This is what we are trying to say. And that every household has one or two of these, where you have leakages coming from the pot. And that it is because of the processing that something went wrong somewhere. And that is what we are saying. And that manipulation of some of these control parameters will eliminate the effect of this material. And that we now discover that this aluminum, by the time we also subject it to electrical conductivity, using all these variable parameters, we discover that it conducts electricity very well. Aluminium is used as electric cable, overhead cable, but we cannot use copper as aluminium. We cannot use copper as overhead cable because of the weight. So today, aluminium has found its place, not only in the kitchen, in the pot and everything. We find it almost everywhere, where building, structures, aeronautics, in every other place. And that is what we have done with squeeze casting, and we have improved the properties. And it can be, and today we have in the market very good and quality aluminum products, including pots. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, in line with the federal government of Nigerian policy of waste to wealth initiative, Aweda and Olayiwola 2019 embarked on the development of lightweight material initially for the automotive industry using aluminum as base metal, while egg, seed, and snail shells were used as composite. Aweda, Olayiwola 2028. But as the work progressed, Dr. Iqbal Farasat of Interdisciplinary Research Center in Biomedical Materials, Comsat University, Islamabad, Lahore in Pakistan, going through the methodology of the work and preliminary result obtained, and having the facility to conduct laboratory works on hydrogen, the apatite material, accepted to be part of the research work. He accepted my PhD student, Dr. Olayiwola M.Y, to work with him on zinc and magnesium using waste cells as composite. because of the calcium content they possess. The research was carried out under the World Academy of Sciences twice program, where hydroxyapatite material was developed using our earlier method. Hydroxyapatite, a biomedical material, is used as bone substitute implant in lieu of allograft implant of material. Aweda 2019. Applying the shells were done into powdered form. We have seen some of these things when you go to the sea, so you find them everywhere as waste and even the eggs. So we discovered that this material possesses calcium and can be processed. And some of us who are carrying one thing or the other in the body, implants, these can be alloyed together with zinc and magnesium because of the biocompatibility of this nature, and that it can be converted to useful products. So the shells were done into powdered form to form zinc magnesium alloy composites. The developed hydroxyapatite material was subjected to mechanical and biomedical tests. The composite obtained became lighter in weight with increased compressive strength, elastic modulus, and micro hardness. The in vitro degradation was determined in simulated body fluid. The result showed improved properties when compared with the existing ones. This was achieved through manipulation of percentage weight variation of the powdered waste shells, addition into zinc magnesium alloy. So Tigotati now compared our own with the already made, with the one already in the market, commercially one, and we discovered that it is very, very compatible. So many of us are now carrying implants, and some of these products are alloy of what we call waste material that can be converted to useful waste. The Vice Chancellor, sir, other research efforts in the area of laboratory equipment. There were further steps taken to enhance teaching and learning by developing laboratory equipment in the area of engineering and technology. The choice of this laboratory equipment was formed by the difficulty faced in trying to equip the engineering laboratories with up-to-date facility required for teaching that will meet the global trend in innovation and technology, and particularly the current outcome-based evaluation objectives. The role of laboratory equipment includes offering opportunity to learn about science through hands-on experience that enrich learning and improve thinking skills. Some of these we have, please figure 19. So we have this one that is called Dominant End Quenching Test Apparatus or hardenability test. It is there in block 7, and this one can be used to measure the hardenability properties of material. We have creep measuring apparatus for both compression and tension of materials. Creep, sometimes called cold flow, is the tendency of solid material to move slowly or deform permanently under the influence of persistent mechanical stresses. Creep is sometimes referred to as silent killer, as its occurrence is as a result of long-term exposure to material to high levels of stress that are still below the use strength for such material without warning. I wouldn't know some of us who are in the village, Ajere. I want to tell us the story of Ajere. There was the one night when we were sleeping, the thing fell down. Ajere is a place where old women used to keep meat, particularly meat. Baked meat. So normally we used to take from there to drink garri in the afternoon. You know, the meat, highly baked, and when you, for those of us who like something that is hard, we used to take it without her authorization. We were not stealing. We only take without her permission. So that is not stealing. So we take without her permission. The thing fell in the night. Just fell. And she woke up to say what was happening. She discovered that the thing just fell. It was not our fault. This is just one of several examples of creep. there is that failure that it has not even been extended to yield point. So, and those of us who live in the village, we know what is agere. I wouldn't be able to say that much. So other products we did was inclined planes. Principle of inclined planes is used in screw jacks, refuse dumps, skiing on ice, children playing slide, and many more. In most of the homes, hospitals, schools, and other places, an inclined plane or wheelchair ramp is attached next to the staircase. The friction between the contact surfaces is the degree of stiffness that is determined while the angle of inclination is varied and measured. Yes, you know, children. So this one, it is made in such a way that children will play. You can now see some of these inclined planes. Some of them, they are here for wheelbarrow people. It should not be such a thing that will be too steep to do. And what we do in the laboratory is to measure the friction between the two contact surfaces so that anybody going on it will not slip, will not skip. And that gives you at what angle you can just make one end fixed and then you can raise or lower the other end. You get the required slope, and that it can be demonstrated in the lab and all those things. So climbing trolley. The climbing trolley is that which is used to move loads from one place to another, either on plane surface, inclined surface, or on another surface. So let's quickly watch this one. So you can use it to carry loads, your minerals, your water. See, it's going on. It's smooth surface. So by the time it goes to staircases, we will see what happens. So that is how we call it climbing trolley. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the practice of engineering is about solving problems, making life and human efforts much easier and comfortable in the process of accomplishing any task. Some years ago, there were attempts to beautify the University of Ilorin campus through planting of flowers and trees. The effort made towards sustaining the green environment in dry season was baffling. The use of water tanker and hard cans were employed to sustain the grass and trees through wet. To make the matter unbearable, sometimes somebody has to hold the water tanker hose and drag along with the moving tanker while directing the water hose to the planted trees and grasses. This, to an engineer, is an eyesore. Effort was made to provide engineering solution that will make the work simple, less cumbersome, and human-friendly. To this end, an operator-back seater was designed, constructed, and mounted at the back seat of a water tanker. Figure 23, please, A and B. Despite the advantage it offered, there was initial opposition from the operators of the scheme. Thus, an approval was sought and granted by the then Director of Works to carry out the assignment. The metallic frame of the seater was completed and mounted while safety testing and mechanical rigidity of the fabricated seater were all accomplished. Consequently, the work would not progress as the tanker broke down for a long time, and all efforts made to complete the project will not materialize today. This is an example of frustration to an engineer who wanted to make impact in the society. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I have been involved in the operation of SCIG equipment supplied to the University of Ilorin since 2008. The equipment supplied are in the basic area of autotronics, electronics and communication, mechatronics, refrigeration and air conditioning. There are few other ones in the area of computer numerical control machines, greenhouse, and solar demonstrators. The equipment of tremendous importance to the entrepreneurship drive of the university, and they afford students opportunity to be granted particularly on not only what they have been taught theoretically, but will help them to acquire practical skills on what they can offer as they graduate from the university. There are several of these equipment in the laboratory of the university. We are lucky as one of the beneficiaries. Let me give one example. Some of us have cars that we have been told that you have to disengage the thermostat or remove the thermostat. The function of an engine is such that you need 1 part of fuel and 14.7 parts of air. What you need fuel for is just to have ignition so that it will burn and there will be power. So if you remove your thermostat or you disengage it, what it means that that ratio is tweeted and you just consume more fuel than necessary. So if you've been having it before, you consume less. By the time you disengage it, and that the thermostat regulates the temperature. The function of the thermostat is such that when you crank your engine, your radiator fan will not work. But when you put on the AC, it will work immediately. But if you don't use the AC, it will not work. It allows the engine to be heated up. And when it gets to a critical temperature, thermostat will switch on the radiator fan. And so to have a rich mixture. And if you now disengage your thermostat, what you have is that the vehicle will consume more fuel. The function will still be okay. The function will be normal and everything will go on well, but you spend more money. The other one that can be demonstrated is that the more the weight of your car, of your vehicle, the more you consume fuel. The more the weight. If I use a light vehicle, I have a full tank, I use it for more weeks or more days than somebody who has a heavier one. So all this can be demonstrated. And that before you buy a vehicle, just know the purpose. It is not every vehicle that is meant for this just leisure. Some are for special purposes. And some of these things can be found in the laboratory of the mechanical engineering or faculty of engineering. Conclusion. I will conclude because as an engineer, I've given you the basic knowledge that is required for this audit. The nitty-gritty is in the laboratory, and that is the outcome of the engineer's research. In Nigeria, the relationship between the university and industry, when it comes to collaboration on research and development, is almost non-existent. There is little or no information sharing between the university and industries operating in Nigeria regarding the running, maintenance, and application of new technologies in the operation of many industries. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am an advocate of technical education. Government of Federal Republic of Nigeria initiated the 6334 policy on education in 1983 with basic objective of producing self-reliant graduates with better labor market skills and earning potentials which failed. Though the reason for its failure was blamed partly on the non-availability of personnel, material, funds, and administrative will, I submit that this program has failed due solely to poor implementation. This policy was globally acknowledged as the right way to economic growth and job creation. Nobody has condemned the program itself, but its poor implementation. Several kids imported were allowed to rot away uninstalled at either the premises of schools concerned or at the ministries of education in the states. Suddenly, government came out with another system of 934 of education. National policy on education, therefore, we considered jettisoning the 6334 system of education and fund it adequately in order to grow the economy. I commend the bold initiative of the Osun State government by its proclamation of September 2021 to revert back to 6334 system of education in the state. The initiative of R.Eng in the adaptation of outcome-based education, OBE, is therefore a welcome development so that engineering graduates will meet the market needs. Getting well-trained and competent artisans and technicians is becoming difficult. There is the difference between being well-trained and competent when it comes to engineering practice. There are a lot of complaints about people working either for us or working with us regarding the work done or the conduct of such personnel. But we keep saying, a known evil is better than unknown one. This is just a consolation. Today, hardly can we get a good welder. And when they do work to us, their conduct, we have some that are good, but the conduct is nothing. We have those ones who have the conduct, but the training is nothing. We tell them you have made a mistake, you will be barely slapped. So we should go back to the technical education where morals, ethics, and practice is taught. Engineers have the responsibility of enlightening their immediate environment about engineering practice in line with the standard and code of ethics of the profession to improve education condition of living. Therefore, I wish to make the following recommendations which are considered to be of benefit. 1. The university industry relationship must strive more to support research, training, and retraining of young graduates, and be prepared to share information about the new technologies and necessary innovations regarding running of industry. There are all sorts of adverts today. They want a professional welder of 2 years, or a young graduate, or a graduate of 22-23. Faculty of engineering cannot train anybody a professional welder, a professional painter. What we give is basic knowledge in engineering. The industry must be ready to retrain to adapt to their situation. Technical education should be restored. Emphasis placed on entrepreneurship skills at tertiary level of education should start at the lower level. It is difficult in Nigeria today to find good artisans or technicians. All they do is trial and error. The university library, the librarian sir, should host a section which will house technical documentary films, not YouTube, that will complement teaching and learning, particularly in the areas related to technical education, to improve retention of knowledge. Nigerian entrepreneurs, and particularly operators of SMEs, should not only be adequately protected by the law, but be encouraged by government to work with the research centers and universities. The initiative of technical entrepreneurship of the University of Ilorin, Vice Chancellor Sir, is highly commended and should enlarge the scope and intensify effort and give opportunity to all willing students to learn something while on campus to prepare them for the future. The Vice Chancellor Sir, while thanking the University Authority for the effort at the establishment of funding workshop located at the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, I plead that the workshop be upgraded and be well equipped with more funding facilities so that the workshop will be one of the best funding in Nigeria. With the continuous manipulation of process parameters by the engineers and scientists and adequate enlightenment of the general public, the world and indeed Nigeria will be a conducive environment to live. Acknowledgement. I give glory to God for this day, for making it a possibility that I have the strength to deliver this lecture. My appreciation goes to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Wahab Olayiwola, SAN, for the approval and support given towards this inaugural lecture. I thank the immediate Vice Chancellor, Professor S.A. Abdulkarim, for the moral and financial support I received from him during the period of my hospitalization. I equally thank the Director, University Health Services, Dr. R.Eng, for his love and concern during the same period. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to acknowledge, appreciate, thank, and show gratitude to the following individuals, groups, associations, fellowships. I will just mention few names. Kindly pardon me. Late Pastor James Alabi Oyebi, an ECWA pastor who insisted I should be educated. Reverend Dr. C. Ogunbole, chaplain chapel of the University of Ilorin, and other present and past chaplains. Reverend and Mrs. J. Olatunji, Reverend Dr. and Mrs. J.K. Olayiwola of ECWA Good News Okiodo, Pastor Enoch Obajemi of ECWA Okakaoja, and all others before him, Pastor and Mrs. Julius Oniloye of Winners Chapel, all members of the Associate Fellowship of Christian Students, Tanke Branch, my parents, late Joel Olayiwola Aweda, for all his effort towards my education, and my mother who is here today, Mama, let me call you, Madam Mother Aweda, thank you for all the support. My siblings, Mrs. Omalaga Adeniyi, Mrs. Mary Samuel, Mrs. Felicia Arababi, and husband Razak Arababi, Engineer Raphael Aweda, and wife Dupe Aweda, Mrs. Rachel Gumola, and husband Rukman. My teachers at all levels of my educational career, particularly Professor M.B. Adeyemi, my Ph.D. supervisor. My daddy, Alhaji Sakalaro, I wouldn't know whether he's here, Sakalaro, who insisted I must proceed to the university to further my education, and giving all the support that is worthwhile. The Department of Mechanical Engineering, professors and staff of the department, thank you. The dean, professors, and all staff of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, University of Ilorin. Other brothers, our brothers and sisters, Professor A.B.O. Omatosho and family, Professor K. Olayiwola and family, former Vice Chancellor Thomas Adewumi, University of Oko, Elder David Adeshina, MNI, from, I think, seated somewhere, retired permanent secretary, Professor and Mrs. E.I. Bello of former FUTA, Professor S.K. Odaibo, Mr. and Mrs. Aganga, Reverend and Mrs. Tio, Papa Femi, Dr. and Mrs. Adibole Ezekiel, Mrs. Yemi Adana, Dr. and Mr. and Dr. Mrs. Ali, Pastor Tope Olupita. The prayers and spiritual support of elders and members of congregation of ECWA Good News, Tanke Okiodo, I highly recognize. I recognize you all. The Chief Medical Director, UITH, Professor A.D. Yusuf, Head Department of Surgery, University of Ilorin, Professor A.A. Kokola, Professor Tio Odebode, and all members of the Neuro Unit, I acknowledge you. All you did so that I may regain my strength. Dr. Israel Kolawole, my friend of Anesthesia Department, special appreciation to you. The authority of Modibo Adamawa University, where I had my sabbatical, and those of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, the Alago of Okaka, the Bamagaji of Okaka, Alhaji Abrazak Olajide, Chairman Okaka Development Union, Alhaji S. Tosho Ajani, I recognize his secretary, Dr. Elijah Yenda, and the entire Okaka community. Thank you for coming. Professor Christopher Odetunde, Vice Chancellor of Augustine University, Ilara Ife, Lagos, I appreciate you for coming. Alhaji Professor A.T. Oladiji Fisi Futa, Professor M.A. Akanji, former PC footminer, Professor O.E. Abdullahi, Professor Mrs. F.A. Olaseyide William, Professor O.E. Adetifa. I learned good lessons through knowing you. Professor I.O. Oloyede, the DAP registrar and former Vice Chancellor, University of Ilorin, under whom I got promoted twice. Thank you for what you have done. And our Papa, Professor Y.A. Kabi, thank you for your kind words always, even in retirement. God bless you plenty. The Dr. A.S. Aremu, MD, Lower Niger River Basin and Development, the engineering family present here today, and those online, I recognize you and I thank you, our most senior members of the profession, for giving me the space to prove my worth. My friends, and some of whom are childhood and long-time friends of the Awedas, Deacon Segun Adeyema and family, Professor James Bamidele and family, Dr. Jide Adams and family, Baba Joshua Adeleke and family, Dr. Femi Abiodun and family, Dr. Raphael Olawoye and family, Mr. Kole Ajibade, Dr. Yemi Akande, Professor Rotimi Omotoye, Professor Noah Yusuf is a friend, and just put it here. Though it's a special guest, he's a close member of the Aweda family. Thank you very much, Professor Noah Yusuf. Professor A.A. Adeoye, thank you very much. Professor R.Eng Bello, I can see you somewhere there. Engineer O.S. Akade of Saudi Aramco, Professor Dayo Losumu, Professor Isa Sadusi, thank you very much. Abosuda Obamishaye, Dr. Yinka Okiola, and all my classmates at all levels. Some of my primary school classmates are here, the Vice Chancellor, sir. So we keep in take contact, even several years. Thank you. Secondary schools are here. My tertiary institution, even those I studied together in Russia, they are here, and several of them are online. Thank you, and thank you for the love shown to the Awedas. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to name just few of the giant products of GSS Malete. Some of the students are here today. Include Alhaji Bodori, the Ajia of Malete, Alhaji Ali Oba Jikobi, a retired Director of Finance and Accounts, Nigerian Police Force, Alhaji Abdulkadri Agbeyegi, my brother, retired Commissioner of Police, Engineer Abdulkarim Odisankoko, former Executive Director, Lower Niger River Basin and Development Authority, Architect Salius Sulaiman Talban Lafiaji, and the Director of Physical Planning, Kwasu, Honorable Mr. David Olatunde of Blessed Momiri, retired Assistant Commissioner of Police, Honorable Justice Abiodun Adebara, Kwara State High Court, Engineer Mustafa Yunusa Yakubu, former Chief Operating Officer, Refining and Petrochemicals, NNPC, Dr. Olarongbe Afolabi, Acting Rector, Federal Polytechnic of Fa, Mr. Olusegun Adeniyi, former Media Advisor to President Umaru Yar'Adua, Engineer Olusola Akande, Saudi Aramco Oil, Professor Babatunde Solagberu, Provost, College of Medicine, Lagos State University, and of course our Mr. Dago, and the giant of giants, the apple and the pride of Government Secondary School Malete, the 1979 setting diagram. Thank you for your coming. On this note, I give special invitation to this audience to please visit GSS Malete and see the wonders of nature caused by man. Lest I forget my neighbors, Professor and Mrs. Siwa Koshile, thank you. Professor and Mrs. Aye Adimola, Elder Mrs. Tari, Mrs. Olajugun, Mrs. Salau, and Barrister and Mrs. Solagberu. All my students at different times and at all levels from different institutions of higher learning who have contributed in no small way to making today's inaugural lecture a success. Some of them are physically present, while some are online. I recognize you. I could see some of you seated there in the audience. Thank you. You are numerous to be mentioned. The trio of Professor I.K. Adegun, Professor O.A. Lasode, and of course, the inaugural lecturer of today. Thank us for good time we enjoyed together. Thank you very much. The entire staff and great students of the University of Ilorin for the many goodwill messages received towards today's lecture. I feel honored and I feel I'm on top of the world. Professor S.M. Adedayo, Professor S.T. Babatunde, Mr. Kunle Akogun, and the Library and Publication Committee of this University of Ilorin for going through this write-up and the publicity that you have given to this work worth mentioning. The staff of Kwara State College of Education, Labiaji, College of Education Technical, Labiaji. I salute members of Unit 22, Special Marshal, R8.1, Sector Command, FNIMechE, headed by our brother, Mr. Julius Ishanyade. I recognize you. All my in-laws from Igangu, permit me not to mention any names, from Igangu, Ile-Esha of Umuaran, you deserve my special acknowledgement. Thank you for accepting me for one of your sons. And from Ijeru, Beleo, you are welcome. They are also here to grace this occasion. I appreciate you. Dr. Julius Ayodele Shola, retired Deputy Inspector General of Police, and Mama Mary, thank you. All these are our in-laws. And our children, Jeremy and wife, Pelumi, Opeyemi, Ebenezer, thank you very much. And our grandchildren, Oluwaferami Andres and Jesse Obaluluwa. You are children and grandchildren with the hearts and thinking of adults. I appreciate God in your lives. And now, to my own, my help, means my prayer warrior, my sister, my love, my life, my heart, Mrs. Rachel Atinuke Aweda Adoniji Aya Aweda gan ọmọ amọdẹmájá òkìdẹ́kùnrin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all those who have traveled far and near because of today's inaugural lecture, and those I may have forgotten to appreciate, my hands up. I plead for your understanding. Kindly forgive my oversight. I love you all. I wish you all God's favor and mercy as you travel back to your destination. Mr. First Chancellor, sir, I am Jacob Olayiwola Aweda, a mechanical engineer in the classroom from Okaka Oja. I testify before this audience that I am a product of missionary service of ECWA. I enjoy God's grace and mercy upon my life, that I am alive today. I can stand, I can walk unaided. It's victory for Jesus. It's victory of Jesus. It's victory of Jesus. Kindly permit me, as I end this lecture, to summarize the testimony of my life in this song. Through it all, oh yes, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Oh, through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Thank you for your attention, and God bless you.
Yes, we thank everybody for the patience and the first chancellor was actually part of us online, and so also many other people. So he sent a message at the beginning of it that he actually joined us online. So he's still online, I'm sure. He's listening to me now as I'm trying to carry out his assignment, and I'm sure he'll be so glad that even though he's not present, the first inaugural lecture is a huge success, which all have witnessed. We need to appreciate the participants in this occasion because your presence actually made today. First and foremost, we have to recognize the university scholars. There's this tag of recognition. I'm sure they are somewhere in the corner there. Also, the students of the Jopping Secondary School are here present. I want them to, okay, look at them over there. Thank you very much for being part of this occasion. And also, during the inaugural lecture, the students of Government Day Secondary School Manete featured prominently, and the giant produce of that school also were emulated by our Professor Jacob. Thank you very much. Having said that, we need to recognize other people. There are a little of Opala because the inaugural lecturer has actually listed many of them. Many of them actually are online, so they are listed and they will be happy that we realize their presence. First and foremost, our mama, our mother is here, Mama Roda Aweda. We thank you very much, ma'am, for being here. Also, our royal fathers, Alhaji Suleiman Yusuf, Alagua of Okaka. Also, Alhaji Abdulrazak Bello, Mbane Okaka Oija. They are here to this occasion. Also, the vice chancellors in our midst, Professor Biolawa, VC, Investor for FA, Professor Oladiti, VC, Federal Student of Technology Akure, Professor Chris Odetunde, VC, Augustine University, Ilara, Lagos State, and Professor Noah Yusuf is here present with us from Aliki. VC. Also, former vice chancellors that are online or are with us here include Professor S.C. Abdul Karim, Professor I.O. Oloyede, Professor M.E. Akonji, and Professor K.L. Ayorinde. Also, we have Beatrice, Professor Y.A. Quadri, former Ilorin staff, Professor A.D. Yusuf, CMD UITH, Professor T.O. Odebode of Surgery Department, Professor A.S. Dr. A.S. R.Eng, M.D. Lawyer, Nigeria River Basin Development Authority, Alhaji Tosho Ajani, and Chairman of Kakawa Development Association, Dr. Elijah Inyoda, Secretary of Kakawa Development Association, Alhaji Toyi, Imam, Chief Imam of Okaka Oja, and Elder David Adeshino, former Permanent Secretary for our state. Also, we have some VIP government officials here, Engineer Suleiman R. Elias, FNSE, Commissioner for Works and Travel for our state, Honorable Justice A.A. Adebara, Kwara State Judiciary, Mr. Ajayi Okasami, Police Bureau, Kwara State, and Dr. Olarungbe Afolabi. Also, clergies that we want to recognize include Reverend Dr. C.O. Ogunpule, Reverend Dr. J.O. Osachi, Reverend E.S. Alassam, Reverend F.M. Babajide, Reverend J.O. Olatunji, Reverend Dr. J.K. Olayiwola, Reverend Dr. Benga Odebiri, Reverend Simeon Oladimeji, Pastor Julius Oyeloye, Pastor Enoch Oba Jememu, Pastor Dr. Temitope Ajibola, Association of Fellows or Fellowships, AFCS. The full name is known by the inaugural lecturer. I'm sure they know themselves online. Also, Okaka community, which we know, the engineering family, very wide family, engineering family. The day also is here. Then Okealafia, Okebo people, the former students, just a minority which we have adequately recognized. Then A-Loss, people from Omuaro, people from Ijerekiti, Arab Bambisi from Ayetoro, Ile, Adeniyis from Elesimeta, Dr. and Mr. Julius Ishola, then churches, Chapel of Light, Ilorin, All Ekwa churches, Apostolic Faith, Agwoba, school staff and students from Shrub School Ilorin, GSS Manete, Chapel School Ilorin, GSS Okoyi, Senior Secondary School, Fati, Basin. All our guests and ecclesias are highly recognized. Finally, the immediate family of our inaugural lecturer, where Mrs. Rhoda Aweda, the children, Jeremy Aweda, Okwayemi Aweda, Ebenezer Aweda, and the grandchildren, Oluwa Feromi Salam, and Jesse Obaloluwa Aweda. We thank everybody for being part of this occasion, and we thank God Almighty for His mercies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vice.